Venetia from Tennessee.
Yes.
Hi, Venetia.
Hello. Hi, Dan. My name is Venetia, and I'm 25 years old. I'm planning on going to law school
Mm-hmm.
starting in the fall. But I wanted to ask, I got a $25,000 scholarship, but of course it doesn't cover all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so my dad was a little bit worried about the amount of student loans that it would take for me to finish going through law school.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard you say something about like a student loan bubble. And I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't sure what you meant. So is it a bad idea to get student loans at this time?
Well, here's what I was referring to, Venetia. I was saying that there is about $1 trillion out there in student loans, and back in 2008 and 2011, when promises were being made that student loan debt was going to be reduced, and then we put into place a policy, the government put into place a student loan forgiveness that was going to be forever, which now this is the last year of it, and people scrambling to get their student loans forgiven. But it created a false sense of security by students. And they were, they went from being like you are, thinking right in the sense that I'm a little concerned, I don't want to get in any more debt, or I want to control my debt, to, hey, this is basically free money. I'm just taking. I'm going to take it. It's going to get forgiven, and all those kinds of things. And it created this huge bubble for the Treasury Department, for the government, because so many of these loans are falling into default. So here's what I would say to you: I wouldn't want it to hold you back from following your goals and your dreams of being an attorney. I think we need good attorneys in this country. I don't think it is what it was 20 years ago. You're not going to get out of law school, even if you get out first in your class, with the exception of maybe Harvard and Yale law schools. You're not going to get out and get a job, making, $150,000 a year. You're going to get out like every other student getting out of any kind of graduate school, and you'll get a job, and hopefully you'll make, $50,000 a year, give or take. So you just need to try to keep it as under control, work hard to make sure that the scholarship stays intact, that you get that, and that you're always aware, because remember, you are going to law school for a couple things. One, you feel like you're following what you should be doing and what you want to do, and what you think you can have an impact on society doing, and that's a wonderful thing. The other reason you're doing it is because you're hoping that you can, have, get ahead, and you can have a good job, and you can make a decent living. So you don't want to mess up the second part of that, of making a good living, by having so many loans that you're never, you're not going to get ahead for a lot of years. And that's going to lead to a lot of frustration and a lot of unhappiness with your career. And it could even cause you to compromise some of your values. So I would just say to you, it's okay to get some debt. But I think as you are in school and you are working some part-time jobs, if you have an opportunity to get any kind of additional income or discretionary income from work, and even though you're not obligated to pay anything on those student loans, for every $500, $1,000 a year that you get to those student loans, that's getting you a little bit closer to having no student loans someday. And that's what's important. And don't fall into what all other students fall into, a very comfortable place where it is almost feeling like a free ride. It isn't a free ride. It is until you graduate and get a job, and then it's nothing even close to a free ride. You got to pay that money back. And it is very difficult it's impossible to get rid of. I mean, I don't want to say difficult. It's impossible. You can't get rid of it through bankruptcy. You can't get rid. I've talked to people that are retired collecting Social Security, and their Social Security is being leaned for a student loan payment. I mean, it's incredible. And that's how bad it is. So, I don't want to discourage you from going to law school at all, or any kind of graduate school. And, you're blessed with a $25,000 scholarship. And all I would say to you is use that wisely. And if you need $1,000 for a particular semester, that you don't take $1,500 so that it can make getting your books and make some other stuff a little bit easier. Don't do that. Just be wise and prudent. Do what you need. But understand, don't buy in, because these schools sell students on loans. They make it sound like it's the greatest thing in the world. You're going to get out. You're going to be making $110,000 a year. So here's your debt to income ratio, and you're going to be in great shape. And they convince you of this because it's no sweat off their nose. It's money in their pocket by pushing. Student loan counselors and your counselors in college are on commission for that. They're making money by getting you to get as many student loans as you can. So I would just say be really wise and prudent. And, your father has a right to be concerned. He's wise in doing that. And you need to be concerned too. But, follow what you want to do. Just, you'll be surprised that you don't really need everything that you could potentially borrow through the student loans. Maybe you're working part-time, you can pay for your books. Maybe you get a little help from somebody, you can pay for a little bit more. So, really keep it focused on exactly what you need, not a penny more.